On June 12, 2021, humanity was blessed with a digital game showcase that blew minds and brightened hearts. I am, of course, speaking of... No, God, no, not you! That's more like it. If no one has introduced you to the wondrous world of Wholesome Games, then allow me to have the honor. Wholesome Games is a website dedicated to showcasing indie experiences with heartwarming messages of comfort, compassion, and coziness. Their Twitter account in particular is a consistent source of joy and a valuable resource in discovering up-and-coming developers. Each year, they compile these titles into an hour-long showcase that gives each game a chance to shine. But in a broadcast that boasts over 70 games, you might be wondering, which are worth investing into? Well, that answer will differ drastically for each of us, but I believe I can shed some light on how to spend your cash. Might I present to you my top 5 recommendations from the 2021 Wholesome Direct. First up, Hot Pot for 1. Believe it or not, there were 2 nearly identical Hot Pot-based games showcased in the Wholesome Direct. When the other boasts a whopping 150 plus recipes, you might be wondering why I would seemingly settle for this entry. Allow me to explain my meager reasoning. I am a man of sentiment, a man who appreciates aesthetic, a man who craves storytelling even to the simplest degree. But above all of that, I'm a man who longs to find games that tap into a sense of wistful nostalgia. Finding one that situates you on a snowy night with all of your friends, cooking and eating together without a care. Well, it resonated with me on a deeper level than I can articulate. I hope that, when I have the chance to play through it, it will reawaken the feelings of nights snowed in with those I loved most. If you're on the fence, consider this. It's $3. I spend far more than that on a real holiday meal, let alone the McDonald's we're all actually getting on a regular basis, than I would indulging in this nostalgic cooking experience. Next up, Lake. Every farming simulation starts the same way. You leave your career in the big city to inherit a small but meaningful position in podunk nowhere. Lake might lack the agriculture, but it retains that same sense of abandoning the corporate and returning to one's roots. Delivering mail to a town of eccentric locals can be as relaxing or as hectic as we choose for it to be, let alone whatever antics come after work. It's no secret that I am always a sucker for games with countless branching paths. The consequences of that ripple effect could easily overwhelm, but according to the game's Steam description, Lake has no right or wrong way to play it. You're not penalized with the worst ending possible because you were on the wrong side of town when the hidden ultra-secret alternate route unlocking event happened. Whatever route you take retains an equal sense of significance and canonicity as any other. If you need to breathe, to break away from your environment, why not turn that mail truck on autopilot and escape with me to Lake? We Are OFK. Flashing lights, bright voices, and a dazzling soundtrack instantly swept me into the enchanting world of We Are OFK. Of course, it's our own world, but portrayed in a way that makes it much more appealing than reality. If you've yet to hear of this gem in the making, We Are OFK functions as a sort of interactive movie. You step into the shoes of Itsumi Saito, an aspiring musician who moved to LA after her most recent heartbreak, and decide how her newfound band's personal and professional lives will play out. Sure, the story drew me in, but let's be real. One other aspect enthralled me all the more. Was anyone else not prepared for the voice acting in this game? I've become so accustomed to indie games replacing full-blown voiceovers with, quirky-sounding text-to-speech or the occasional laugh, sigh, and scream. To hear real people having complete conversations and exchanging consistently witty banter had me engrossed from the get-go. But it was more than the neon aesthetic and snarky quips that piqued my interest. One line of the latest trailer hooked me. Everyone in Los Angeles is mourning something. After a year where I would imagine most of us have lamented one thing or another, and another, the message We Are OFK dissects may be more timely than anticipated. Offsetting the quirkiness of the typical band-style rom-coms with themes that touch the deepest parts of our humanity will undoubtedly leave a lasting impression on all of us. Beasts of Maravilla Island. Step back, new Pokemon Snap, because Beasts of Maravilla Island might knock you off your high horse. In this tropical paradise, you pursue your passion as a wildlife photographer and explore an uncharted island teeming with magic puzzles and mysterious creatures. But can we just talk about how gorgeous this game is? 1 second of footage left me breathless. It is clear that the artist had a field day designing each aspect of the game, be it the inhabitants or their habitats. The ability to provide an open world experience for photography fans that allows them to directly interact with the environment around them is something my friends have asked for forever. This will easily please countless people who either feel let down by the newest entry in the Snap spin-offs, or who feel an incurable void left behind now that their adventures on Lentil have concluded. Be aware, however, the game is a short but thorough experience. For $10, it doesn't quite meet our standards of each dollar spent equating to 1 hour of in-game playtime. But it's hard to refute the worth of supporting indie developers who want to challenge the status quo by iterating on classic concepts. Paralives. Do you want to construct fictional homes and create virtual families, but you cannot abide by EA's lackluster efforts and disgusting business practices? Boy, do I have news for you! Paralives is the solution to every single problem I've had with The Sims for a long while now. Limitless architectural possibilities and an art style with so much character sets this apart from similar series. This trailer in particular honed in on a lot of warm color schemes that made me breathe a literal sigh of relief. I think we could all use that kind of unwinding right about now. However, with the almost rabid fervor of its fanbase, I'd advise us all to give it an abundance of grace. This is the company's first game. It will undoubtedly possess flaws, and many of them. Look forward to it, sure, but let's temper our expectations and appreciate the process of continual improvement they've promised. There is one special but personal note I'd like to add. My mother, a woman whose gaming experience amounts to dying repeatedly on Aladdin for the Sega Genesis and a non-stop marathon through Myst on a dial-up computer, watched this trailer in awe. She kept asking me how it's possible that someone could build homes the way they have. It's the first chance that I've had in my entire life of enticing my interior design obsessed mom to dive headfirst into games I think she'd genuinely love. And for anyone unaware, the trailer shown in the Direct was only a fragment of what they had to reveal. Check out their official channel for the full-length gameplay. And that about wraps it up for my top 5 recommendations from the 2021 Wholesome Direct. Okay, I'm lying. I have one honorable mention. Ooblets. Look, technically I'm cheating a little bit on this because Ooblets isn't exactly a new game, it's just one that's still technically in early access and received an update. But how can I exclude it when it looks like this? I've been following the development of this game for years now, and while it's veered in a direction that's less catered to my preferences, I find it no less worthy of praise. Don't know Ooblets? Well then, allow me to educate you. Picture, if you can, my friend, all the serotonin that farming in Stardew Valley gives you, combined with that irrefutable glee that gathering together a gaggle of Pokemon provides. You want that, right? Then look no further, because Ooblets replaces crops with cultivated creatures that can assist you in battle, or just be your newfound BFF. Unfortunately, the game won't feature romance, an exclusion that's admittedly a major bummer to someone like me. But that doesn't mean there's not plenty of character-specific quests to embark on. Every time I read this game's dialogue, I'm either in awe of its insanity or its wittiness, and normally it's a hefty dose of both. If you find yourself seeking something to whet your appetite while you wait for Coral Island, My Time at Sandrock, and One Lonely Outpost, look no further than Ooblets. Okay, this time I promise that really is the last recommendation. If any game I mentioned piqued your interest, please take a hot second to support the developers. That doesn't only mean monetarily. Even wishlisting the game makes a significant impact on their marketing. Lucky for you, all of these games have Steam pages ready to go. Except for Ooblets, which is available on the Epic Games Store, but we're pretending I didn't actually mention that one anyhow, so shh. You can always cash in your most recent paycheck to purchase Beasts of Maravilla Island and Hot Pot for One now, but don't forget to wishlist the upcoming We Are OFK, Lake, and Paralives too. With any luck, you now know of a new game to lift your spirits. If you're even more fortunate, one of these entries will steal your heart and help you feel a little more wholesome than ever before. But these are only my opinions. I'm here to listen to your interests as much as I'm grateful that you let me ramble on about mine. Why not leave a comment below with your most anticipated title and keep the conversation going? Until the next direct, stay kind, stay compassionate, and stay wholesome.